Hello, and welcome to today's Make Music Publications Immersive Band Virtual Reading Session. My name is Heather Meyer, and I'll be running everything in the background for our session today. So let's get things started. Without further ado, let me introduce Brian Balmages.
Hey, so first of all, thank you all for coming. I love doing these, and I wasn't sure whether I was going to do these this year or not, but we had such a huge support for wanting to do these again. So I'm thrilled. Whether you guys are doing this at home on your own, or whether you're somebody who's opened up your band room to a bunch of folks to do this in a group setting, I'm thrilled. Okay, we have a lot of music to read through. So no matter where you are, thanks for joining us. We have folks from Australia. We have folks from almost every single continent. This is actually crazy. I think there's like 15 countries represented here right now. So looking forward to this. Okay, and we're splitting this all up by grade level, as a lot of you have noticed. So we're going to be bouncing around grade levels a lot. We start off with a grade 1 by myself called Fanfare for the Fearless. This is a fanfare style work, and I think you're going to enjoy it. Key of E flat major. All right, let's do some reading. We're going to go ahead and start right from the top on this one because it's always a good place to start. Here we go. From the top. Ready? To here. Do a lot with the phrasing here. Great, and that's where we'll get to with that. But I wanted to give you a taste of that, getting back into the resolution of that. Again, one of the things you're going to notice is as we're going through these pieces, think about how long it takes us to get to through a development section into the next section. So, and yes, beginning bands can play in temporarily in the tonal center of C major. So that was what you noticed in there. Next up, we have Rising from the Earth. This is Adrian Sims, grade 3. And this was actually premiered at Midwest last year. It's a really exciting piece. We're going to go ahead and start at measure 54. So if you can all find measure 54 in your music, that's exactly where we're going to start. And I'm trying to find that myself. There we are, right on that trombone entrance. Okay. So here we are. This is Rising from the Earth, starting right at measure 54. I'm going to see if I can get you all the way to the end. Ready? And here. Watch me on this accelerando, very subtle. Check in with me. Still. Okay, so Rising from the Earth, Adrian Sims, grade 3. Next, we are moving to a great concert march, Viva Italia by Tim Loest. This is a grade 2.5. And to be honest, the main reason is just because it's in 6/8 time. There are some really cute, clever quotes that he uses in this as well. So I'm going to start you from the very beginning to give you a taste of this, probably get you into measure 89 or so. So let's do some reading, okay? Lots of fun on this one. Viva Italia, grade 2. All right, and here. Now bring it down. Good, and I wanted to get you into the that final strain there to give you a good taste of that. So it's a great way to kind of explore 6/8 without being overly demanding, and it's also great because it's not overly demanding on the chops either. So Viva Italia, Tim Loest. Next up, speaking of easy on the chops, we're going to Cathedral Mountain by Rossano Galante. Um, Obviously, I love his music a lot. A fun story I always like to say is that when he and I first met, was actually in a reading band. We were playing in a band in Palm Springs, California, the Desert Freedom Band, and we were premiering one of his own compositions. And I was guest conducting, and they were doing a piece of his. And so I got to sit in the trumpet section next to him, and I watched him suffer playing his own trumpet parts. It was near and dear to my heart, and I thought, it serves you right, right? So we're going to do a little bit of Cathedral Mountain. We're going to start in measure 83. And the reason we're going to do this is so that you can get a little bit of a sense of the middle, which is kind of reminiscent of the opening. So it gives you a good sense of that. All right. So we're going to start right on 83. So watch me for this, and also watch me on the transitions as well. Okay. Here we are, 83. And here. All my horn players should be having the time of their life right here. Keep tempo here. Check it in with me. Check in with me here. Okay, nice job. For those of you that have summer chops, I'm sorry. So that was Cathedral Mountain, Rossano, Galante, obviously in that grade 4.5, even in some states, grade 5. So moving on, we have a piece by JaRod Hall. You know, it's funny. I was going to put his piece Riz on this recording session, on this reading session, and then I kind of figured everybody else has probably already heard it. Um, that's kind of his viral piece right now, Riz. So if you don't know that one, go check it out. You can see it with all of its hundreds of thousands of views. That's the one right now. So Danza Zanzare, Dance of the Mosquitoes. It's a very clever piece that's done very well, and it's great for brass players doing some mouthpiece buzzing in the middle, but it's really musically, there's a reason for it. So we'll get just up till that point with that. So this is Danza Zanzare. We're going to start right at the beginning. All right, here we are. And here. Find those accents. Tuba. Here we go. Good. And I wanted to kind of get you into that, but there's a great pitch reference there. And then there's some dialogue going between them and the woodwinds, who are getting a chance to do some chromatic things as well. So that is a little bit of Danza Zanzare. Okay. Moving on, we have Bushido, and this is by William Owens, subtitled The Warrior Code. This, as you can see here, is a grade half. So very, very playable. This is one of my favorite grade halves that Willie has done in quite some time. It's pretty exciting. So let's just dive into the very beginning of this. We'll get you about to measure 37 or so. Ready? And here. Good. So I wanted to, again, get you into that recap. So what I'm trying to do, obviously, is get you as much of a taste of these pieces as humanly possible. All right, moving on. We are moving on to The Old Painted Door by Dan Austin. Um, Dan is on the session. He's a Canadian band director and also composer, obviously. Um, this is the first piece of his that I am publishing, and it's a really, really nice piece. So make sure after we do it that you all send Dan lots of great comments about how amazing his music is and how much you all want to buy it. Okay. In all fairness, like this is a picture of the way by the door that this piece was inspired by, which was a gift. So you can read more about that. But right now we're going to dive right into this. So this is The Old Painted Door by Dan Austin. We're going to start right at the top. Here we are. Ready, set, here. Check in with me here. For those of you that watched me, thank you. Check in. And we're actually going to stop right there. For those of you that hear me saying check in and like, how do I know when it's going to pull back? Everything that you're listening to is my conducting, right? I conducted all of these originally, and so I know exactly what I was doing. So it's a kind of a unique opportunity for me because I already know where I want to pull back and all those things, which I think makes these reading sessions a lot more musical anyway. Moving on, we are now going to go down, and that was grade 3, by the way. So great job, Dan. Awesome stuff. So next we are doing Deck the Yard, an ode to outdoor holiday decorations. Grade 1.5. Tim recommends that during the holidays, if you want, have people bring in pictures of their homes, all the different traditions, and create a slideshow for folks to watch while they're playing the piece. So this is a little bit of Deck the Yard, somewhat of a medley. So we're gonna go through some of it just to get into the jazz section. Okay, here we are from the top. Ready? And here. This is right where I would start the slideshow. Good. Just wanted to get you a little taste of the swing section that comes in there. So that was Deck the Yard. Now we're going to stay in the holiday spirit and we're going to bump up to about a grade 2, maybe for some folks a 2.5. All of us somewhere in our schools have guitarists that love to play metal and they love to have fun. So this is a great chance to feature an electric guitarist in something. This is actually going to be played at Midwest. So if you're around at Midwest, you can hear this with a kid who apparently is really throwing down. So love it. So this is a little bit of Metal Bell Carol. I'll tell you a little secret about the electric guitar that you'll hear in a minute. But right now, here we go. Right on it. Right? Set, ready. Here. So just wanted to get you into that, right? So that is the Metal Bell Carol. Fun fact, what you're hearing, if you listen to the recording, that is not electric guitar. It is actually electric bassoon. The bassoonist in the ISO is a very good friend of mine. He also plays saxophone. And he's played electric bassoon at NHL games and NBA games. And so he played electric bassoon. So for those of you trying to recruit bassoon players, just play them this piece, okay? All right. Pirate's Revenge, next up, by Adrian Sims. A really exciting upper level piece. However, it is very playable. And what I mean by that, rhythmically, it's fairly playable. There's a lot to dig into. If you've got a great horn section, this is your piece for sure. We're going to start right at 18. Notice we're in 5 at this point, and I'm going to get you through a decent chunk of this. All right, here we are, right at 18, Pirate's Revenge. All right, here we go. And here, and here we go, horns. We are awake now. Now stay with me for time. I'm in 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good, and I just wanted to get you into that 9/8. Then we get into this kind of really slow, dramatic passage before we kind of pick it back up full speed. So that is Pirates, and again, really, really exciting piece. Great for really any time of year. But again, for those of you horn players that pulled that off, you go. I will hire you for my recording session next time. Okay. Let's change gears completely and go to a grade 1 low woodwind and brass feature called Rhino Ruckus. I believe this also is getting played at Midwest. This is by Erin Keeton-Howard. This is just a really fun. Everybody I've talked to just says it's just a really cool bop. So here is a really cool bop by Erin Keeton-Howard. Here we go. Ready? Right from the top. We'll get into the middle section with the clapping. Ready, set, 2, here. Good. So it's just to get a little bit of sense of that. But again, it's just really fun. All your low voices are gonna love you. They really, really will. Very playable, and even though it features them, obviously everybody's got a lot to do in this one, so it's a lot of fun. Moving on to Creepy-Crawly creatures. A lot of you might know my piece, Creatures in the Attic, and for a long time people have been saying, oh, it'd be really fun for you to write a follow-up. And I've never really wanted to, but lo and behold, about 10 years later, I did. There's a poem. I'm going to read you the poem because I love for kids to read the poem ahead of time before they play it. This is great for our October concert. Creepy-crawly creatures often out of sight, snoozing all throughout the day and partying all night. Misunderstood, mistreated friends, missing all the fun. Hiding, often scared of us, yet we're the ones who run. I wonder if the hairy ones are soft enough to snuggle. Maybe we could try instead to creepy-crawly cuddle? Not for you? No worries here. Prefer a dog? Then have no fear. A cat, a bird? Is there no end to animals we recommend? Yet I prefer to break the trend, while others may not comprehend, for I courageously defend my little creepy-crawly friend. So you can have students read that, you can have an administrator read that, and here's a little bit of the Creepy-Crawly creatures. And here. Good. So for the sake of time, we won't keep going on that one. But again, you can hear this little march of them coming out, and then eventually they will retreat at the very end as well. So that is Creepy-Crawly Creatures, grade half to grade 1. It's right in that pocket, and the main reason for that is for the accidentals. Okay, March Pasodoble by Jack Wilds. This is a great different kind of march. So if you're looking for something that you want to, have a march in your program, but not a traditional march, then this is a Spanish flavored march. Okay, we're going to start right at the beginning. For the sake of time, let's not take repeats. Okay, so do not take the repeat. We're going to dive straight through. All right, here we are. March Pasodoble. Ready? Here and Go ahead and play second time here. Going on here. Good. And so that just got you into that final strain right there. So March Pasodoble by Jack Wilds. Okay. Hopefully you guys are getting warmed up right now. All right. We are moving on. This is a fun piece because there's a lot of performance options here. So To the Skies for band and optional audio track. So this is a piece that you can easily do with just band alone, but the audio track adds this 8-bit gaming soundtrack to it. And that's what we're going to go ahead and do it with right now. Kenley is a Canadian composer, does a lot of things at a variety of grade levels, and this is just a lot of fun. So this is To the Skies. We're going to start right at the beginning, and you'll hear that 8-bit track coming through. Here we go. Ready? And here. Inspired by these Legend of Zelda tracks. Good. So again, just getting you into that next section right there. Probably the fastest reading session that most of you will ever do in your life with this thing, right? So we don't have percussion to slow us down for the percussion changes. Percussionists, I love you. I love you, right? So let's move on. New composer alert. Okay, and most of you do not know this person, Ede Jiménez. So Eddie is a trumpet player, graduated from the University of Miami. He's quite an accomplished trumpet player, but he's also a middle school band director. And he wrote this piece, Ninja Squad, and it's just really exciting, very attainable. Lots of great percussion. I've got another one of his coming out this year. So let's go ahead and read a little bit of Ninja Squad. All right, and here we are. To here. And we'll stop right here. Okay, a little bit of a percussion break there. And that percussion break will take us to some yelling, some forceful yeah moments in the ensemble. So pretty exciting for kids. They get a chop break as well. So that is Ninja Squad. All right. Shifting from 1.5 up to grade 4. Another JaRod Hall piece. This is Red River Railroad. Lots of exciting music here. Some inspirational jazz elements here and pop. We're going to go ahead and start at measure 38, if you can find that. So the opening is absolutely stunning, and I would definitely have you listen to that. You can hear a little bit of these train whistles that are happening. But we're going to go ahead and start right at 38. So if you can all find that. And here we go. Red River Railroad right at 38. Ready? And here I. Hold on, woodwinds. I know that was perfect. Good. So you get a great idea of that, right? And then he takes you again, really exciting, but he takes you at the very end. It actually starts off much the same way it started, retreating back into nothing. So Really fun piece. JaRod Hall's Red River Railroad. Next up, we have Australian composer Fran Griffin, and she's titled this march Midnight March. Again, it's a 6/8 march, which is great for teaching, right, for younger kids, but also it's a lot of unison rhythms, which really help as well. And it's a very different kind of march, off the beaten path. So this is a little bit of Midnight March. Folks, we have 4 left. You're crushing it. Here we go. Midnight March. Here. Ah. Good. Okay. So, oh, not yet. We're not getting there quite yet. So that was Midnight March by Fran Griffin. Next we have Ocean Blue, Adrian Sims. This is a grade 2.5. Pretty wonderfully orchestrated piece. Again, folks, if you don't know Adrian, you've got to get to know him. He's doing some incredible work. I'm really proud of everything that he continues to do and just has such a wonderful voice. So we're going to go ahead and start at measure 24. All right. So obviously it starts off a little bit on the lyrical side, but not fully lyrical, just a fast tempo. But we're going to start right at 24 in the new tempo. So be ready to rock and roll. About bum. Okay, here we are. 2, 3, 1, 2. I love the color change here. Good. I wanted to get you almost to the end. Again, if you want to hear the end, you can buy it and you'll hear the end. It'll be great. Okay. I guess you could also listen to the end online, but that is a little bit of Ocean Blue. Boy, I'll tell you, Horns, this is a fun reading session for you. It's either fun or it's not fun at all, depending on how in shape you are. So let's move on to Waltz Macabre. Katie O'Hara Labrie. I also did this yesterday in the string session. You'll notice that this says for concert band, string orchestra, or combined ensembles. One of the really cool things about this is that it works for strings alone, and it works for concert band alone, or you can combine the two. So this is perfect if you want to have a joint concert, or if they're going to kind of work on it individually and then you're going to put them together in a big assembly as a recruitment. So it's one of the few pieces that they're both in the same key and they both work really, really well. So this is a little bit of Katie Labree's Waltz Macabre. We'll start right from the beginning. Here we are. And set to ah. Okay, so Waltz Macabre, Katie Labrie, for band or strings, or band and strings, or full orchestra, or I'm sure somebody could make it work for kazoo ensemble. So, folks, we have reached the last one, and this is Woodland's Overture. This is a grade 4.5 or so. This is a great way to feature really everybody in the ensemble. The way this was written was it starts off with 2D ensemble, everybody playing, and then those of you that might know Philip Sparks' dance movements, one of the things that he does is each movement features a different ensemble within a different family. And so this starts off with full band, and then it goes to brass only for a section. And we're going to start in the middle of that. And then it goes to woodwinds only, so that the brass you get a chop break. Lots of percussion feature in the middle of there, and then full band all the way to the end. Great way to open up a program, but also just a great way to highlight if you've got a group that can play very well. We are going to go ahead and start all the way at measure 81. You guys can all find that. All this material that we are passing will come back in a slightly altered form, but it will come back in that recapitulation. So as you can see, right now we are in the middle of this brass section. I do add some cues in the woodwinds, but we are now in the brass only section, and this is right at 81. All right, watch me on the transitions and you'll find it. Okay, here we are. Ready, set, two, ready, ah. Watching me here and oboe here, clarinet 2-3, piccolo. Here's the conmoto and check in with me. Here. Check in. Rehearsal ready. Ah. $142 and all right. Folks, congratulations. You survived 20 pieces in an hour. Bye all. Thank you.